in one of the most egregious and absurdly anti-consumer moves I have seen in a long time, people. Sony has stooped to a new low, and they were already really fucking far down there. They were at the bottom, and now they've cracked through the floor, and they're hanging out in the basement. As far as respect they have for the consumers, you are letting them shit all over you if you purchase a PlayStation 5, and let me explain why. Now, the Sony fanboys were sitting on their couch, jerking off to the PlayStation 5 conference, but real people such as myself, who can actually think for themselves and have an analytical mind, were watching for where Sony was seeping in the bullshit and the lies and the deception. Now, they've been intentionally vague, and they refuse to state precisely how this backwards compatibility is going to work. Case in point, they've said 100 games at launch. We don't know if this is 100 games that are enhanced for the PlayStation 5 or if it's 100 games that will work through backwards compatibility overall. But at launch, the PlayStation 5 will not support all of the PlayStation 4 games. This much is known. They intend to add to it as kind of like an ongoing program, which is fine. But then they unveil this digital-only edition of the PlayStation 5. Okay. What fucking part of this makes sense? Whether you have PlayStation 4 games... First off, if you got a physical PlayStation 4 collection at all, and you buy the digital PlayStation 5, you're a fucking idiot. There's no way around that. You're going to either have to sell the PlayStation 4 games or keep your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation 5 hooked up, which defeats the point of backwards compatibility. That being said, I am fully aware that the medium as a whole is shifting towards a digital medium, and I'm on board with that. How the fuck ever you're going to sit there and have a digital-only product. You cannot guarantee that all PlayStation 4 games will be backwards compatible. Furthermore, we know that this digital-only edition, I can guarantee, is going to be cheaper than the regular one. So you want to push people towards that, and for good reason. You're going to get more money. Sony gets to line their pockets with more money from sales on the digital storefront, the PlayStation Store, as opposed to physical media. And they don't have to worry about the used game market. Okay. Let's recap how Sony's fucking you in the ass no matter what position you're coming from. Scenario number one, you have a PlayStation 4 physical collection. Well, your two options are pay for the more expensive PlayStation 5 so you can continue playing the physical PS4 games, or let's say you are a digital-only PlayStation 4 user. They're a small base, but I know they're out there. Most people typically do a mix. If you've gone all digital with your PlayStation 4, fuck it, you don't need the disc drive, right? Save yourself the fucking money. Buy yourself the digital PS5. Well, now you're really fucked. You're fucked from two different angles. Number one, those games still aren't guaranteed to work on the PlayStation 5. It's still only going to be the base 100, and we still don't have any additional clarification at what intervals or even if the majority of PlayStation 4 games are going to be playable on the PlayStation 5. So you've now locked yourself out of the used game market. You have digital-only titles that there's no guarantee that you can play, and above all else, you're locked into Sony's storefront as far as purchasing the games. Now, those of you who have seen my videos are going to raise a very interesting question, all the little Sony fanboys out there. Well, Microsoft's probably going to have the same thing. Correct! I would be shocked if Microsoft does not have a digital-only console. Here's the fucking difference. They have been working to make every Xbox One game playable on the Series X at launch. That has been their goal. Full backwards compatibility with the previous generation, and they're trying to bring it across all generations of Xbox. There's obviously going to be licensing issues and bullshit like that. But rest assured that unless it's some Kinect-dependent game, if I go pull Gears of War 5 or Halo or Sunset Overdrive or Rise, Son of Rome, whether I own it digitally, physically, or I've got it on Game Pass, it's gonna fucking work. There's a fine line between being consumer friendly and spewing bullshit, and Sony falls in the latter camp exclusively. They're making half promises, they're not painting the whole picture for you, and there's going to be a lot of pissed off PS5 owners come November or December when this system drops, when they go to put in anything other than, I'm sure, the Sony exclusives, which will probably work day one. If you go to put in some forgotten game, like let's say I want to pop in The Evil Within. Let's say I want to pop in Dragon Age Inquisition, for instance. 2 games that came out early in the PS4's life cycle. I guarantee you Sony's not prioritizing getting those games running. I would be shocked if either one of those work at launch. They will on the Xbox Series X. Do you know why? Because Microsoft actually gives a shit about fulfilling its promises and being a consumer-friendly product. This is getting ridiculous. If you still support the PlayStation 5 at this point, you are a fucking joke. Get the fuck off of my channel. We actually care about consumer-friendly products and actual companies who stand by what they say on this channel. Sony, that conversation, everything about that conference was abysmal. But nothing more than the knife in the back of your existing fan base of PlayStation 4 users who have a collection of games that you cannot guarantee will work, and you have the gall to promote backwards compatibility. You filthy fucking scumbags. Dead metal.